Happy New Year, one and all. Happy 2026 to you from Nick and Knarf, two brothers in Tucson, bringing you tunes from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, both ways. And today we're doing an American songwriter who has had wonderful success, but also had a tragic death. Frank's going to tell you about it.
It's the great Harry Chapin, born in 1942, and he died tragically in an auto accident in New York at the age of 38 in 1981 when he was on his way to perform at a benefit concert. What a tragedy. He left a legacy that's pretty damn amazing. He's in the Grammy Hall of Fame, nominated 4 times for Grammys. In the 70s, twice. He didn't win, but he won twice posthumously in 1986 and 2011.
Wow.
He had 11 studio albums, 14 singles, and dozens of
11
compilations.
studio albums?
11 studio albums, yes.
Wow, I would never have guessed that.
In about a 12-year period or so. And he had numerous compilations and stuff. Really an amazing story. He's really a storyteller. He's not just a singer-songwriter. The man is a really wonderful storyteller, and he left a great legacy. Some of his most famous work, obviously, Cats in the Cradle, such a wonderful song.
Child arrived just the other day.
That's right, and a whole bunch of other amazing songs. Taxi, which was one of the biggest hits of his whole career. I got an interesting story I want to tell you about Taxi. He was actually debuted in 1972 on the Johnny Carson Tonight Show, and he got such a huge response from the audience. They sent telegrams and phone calls saying, bring this guy back, bring this guy back. He went back the next night and performed it again. The only performer that Johnny Carson ever invited back on a second night after an initial debut on the show.
Wow.
So he was that popular, but he left a tremendous legacy. He was also a humanitarian, very involved with hunger, benefits, doing benefits and all kinds of stuff. Just a tremendous artist who was tragically taken from us. But we got 2 wonderful songs from his legacy, and we're going to get to them in just a second. But before we do, I'd like to invite you, as always, if you have not and you like what you hear, please subscribe, hit the like icon for us, because that really helps spread the word, and share with your friends, because we are Nick and Knarf, 2 boys with all the noise, caring for your ears.
And don't forget to click that notification bell so that it just lets you know that, hey, we just posted something.
Absolutely. So the 2 songs we're going to do first, well, we'll tell you the second one when we get to the second one. The first one, though, is a song that was one of his biggest hits. It is from the 1973 album called Short Stories. And what I'm going to play for you is a live version of the song done in 1976 from his album Great Stories Live. It's a tale about a DJ who doesn't want to grow up. He sacrifices everything, family and everything, to keep his career going. And it's a very self-revealing narrative story. And I think you're going to really enjoy it. The title is the name of a radio station, imaginary radio station, W.O.L.D. So here it is, Harry Chapin, W.O.L.D.
Hello, honey, it's me. What did you think when you heard me back on the radio? What did the kids say when they knew it was their long-lost daddy? Oh,
Violence.
you remember how we listened to the radio, and I said that's a place to be, and how I got the job as an FM jock the day you married me. It was 2 kids and I was into AM rock, but I just had to run around. It's been 8 years since I left you, babe. Let me tell you about what's gone down. I am the morning DJ at W.O.L.D. Playing all the hits for you, wherever you may be. The bright good morning voice, who's heard but never seen. Oh, feeling all the 45, going on 15.
That's a great line. Feeling all of 45, going on 15.
The drinking the day of dawn, my last big gig. It made my voice go low. They said that they like the young sound when they let me go. So I drifted on down to Tulsa, Oklahoma to do me a late night talk show. Now I work my way down home again, hear the boys at Idaho. That's how this business goes. I am the morning DJ at W.O.L.D. Playing all the hits for you, wherever you may be. The bright good morning voice, who's heard but never seen. Oh, feeling all of 45, going on 15. Tom, you want to sing me the bridge? Extra money.
I've been making extra money doing high school sock hops. I'm a big time guest MC. You should hear me talking to the little children and listen what they say to me. Got a spot on the top of my head, just begging for a new toupee, and a tie around my gut from sitting on my, but it's never gonna go away.
Nice bass.
Sometimes I get this crazy dream that I just take off in my car. But you could travel on 10,000 miles and still stay where you are. I've been thinking that I should stop this jockeying and stop that record store. Maybe I could settle down if you take me back once more. Okay, honey, I see. I guess he's better than me. Sure, old girl, I understand. You don't have to worry, I'm such a happy man. W.O.L.D. 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 I am the morning DJ at
KHJ.
Playing all the hits for
RKO
you.
Radio, remember?
Play 'em night and day. The bright good morning voice, who's heard but never seen. Oh, feeling all of 45, going on 15. I am the morning DJ at W.O.L.D.
Wow, a lot of people.
Yeah, good crowd. What'd you think, Nick? I know you haven't heard this one before.
Oh, no, I have heard it,
Oh, you
but
did?
I haven't heard it all the way. I remember the chorus. Loved it. He's kind of a minstrel, you know. I love his lyrics.
You know what I was thinking too, Nick? He has this great narrative storytelling capacity, like Billy Joel. I was thinking of Billy Joel when I heard some of his songs again. You know?
I was thinking more of our Canadian friend that we saw him in concert twice, right? Didn't we see him twice?
Who's that?
That would be, oh my gosh, our good Canadian old guy died last year, about 81, 82 years old. The guy who wrote the Edmund Fitzgerald. Why can't I remember?
Gordon Lightfoot.
Gordon Lightfoot. I seem to kind of classify him in there.
That's a great comparison too. But that's the thing they all have in common is they're masters at putting into a song a long narrative flow of events and narrative and poetic references and everything.
He was basically saying he went back to see his ex and she had a new man and he was
trying to ingratiate herself with her, trying to get back together with her.
And
so
he realized now he's a better man because he's stable, you know, not as I guess, self-centered as
Well, he
his
thinks he
character
is, but she doesn't believe he is.
Now,
obviously.
KHJ was actually a LA-based.
It was an LA-based radio and TV station. I assume maybe he was in California when he did this song.
That's what I'm thinking.
So I'm guessing he just did it to kind of pander to the LA people. But
I love the violins. Boy, that
what a production value, and the vocals in the background are just
the
gorgeous.
bass line. Ooh,
just gorgeous.
good.
What did you guys think of W.O.L.D? Just leave us your comments. Let us know what you think. By the way, there is a great cover of this song by the late, great Richie Havens. He does a wonderful version of it. You should check it out. He's just a beautiful, beautiful version.
Richie Havens singing this song?
Richie Havens does this version.
Wow.
It's really good. You got to check it out. Anyway, also, before we move forward, I got to mention, we're doing this song, this video to thank our friend Mace from Nick's church. He caught us a couple of times saying, "Hey, have you guys done Harry Chapin? Have you guys done Harry Chapin?" I said, "No, we've been talking about it for such a long time, and we finally got around to doing it." So this the video is dedicated to you, Mace. Hope you enjoy
Mace,
it.
sing it to your students. He's a teacher in the Tucson School District.
Yeah, well, anyway, so that was our first offering from the great Harry Chapin. Again, leave us your comments. Let us know. Now, the next song we'd like to do, we were talking about Taxi. That debuted in 1972, like I told you. Well, a lot of people kept writing him letters. His fans would write him and ask him at concerts, "Can't you do something to follow up on that story? I mean, you just left us hanging there with Harry and Sue. We don't know what happened." So, and even his wife pushed to say, "Yeah, why don't you do a sequel to the original song Taxi?" So about 8 years later, he wrote a follow-up to it called Sequel. It's from 1980, and it's on the album Sequel, and it continues the story of Harry and Sue, only now he's a big star who goes back to San Francisco, and he's got some time before a show, so he decides to reach out and see if he can meet up with Sue again and see what she's doing. So, if you know the original song Taxi, and if you haven't heard Sequel, you're going to be in for a real treat. So here we go. This is it from 1980, the song Sequel.
Oh, here she's acting happy inside her handsome home. And me, I'm flying in my taxi, taking tips and getting stoned. I got into town a little early, had 8 hours to kill before the show. First I thought about heading up north of the bay, then I knew where I had to go. I thought about taking a limousine, or at least a fancy car, but I ended up taking a taxi, 'cause that's how I got this far. You see, 10 years ago it was the front seat, driving stoned and feeling no pain. Now here I am straight and sitting in the back, hitting 16 Parkside Lane.
Wow. Is this live?
Nope. Studio.
The driveway was the same as I remembered, and a butler came and answered the door. He just shook his head when I asked for her and said she doesn't live here anymore. But he offered to give me the address that they were forwarding our letters to. I just took it and returned to the cabbie and said, "I got one more fare for you." And so we rolled back into the city, up to a 5-story old brownstone. I rang the bell, it had her name on the mailbox. The buzzer said somebody's home.
Oh, nice guitar.
I don't know if that's violin or guitar.
I think
And
it
the
is.
look on her face as she opened the door was like an old joke told by a friend. It'd taken 10 more years, but she'd found her smile, and I watched the corners start to bend. And she said, How are you, Harry? Haven't we played this scene before? I said, it's so good to see you, Sue. Had to play it out just once more. Play it out just once more. She said, I've heard you flying high on my radio. I answered, it's not all it seems. That's when she laughed and she said, it's better sometimes when we don't get to touch our dreams.
That's a nice interlude.
That's when I asked her, where was that actress? She said that was somebody else. And then I asked her why she looked so happy now. She said, I finally like myself. At last I like myself.
Interesting.
I think it's very nice.
You're right about Billy Joel. I can see what you're saying.
We talked all through that afternoon, talking about where we'd been. We talked of the tiny difference between ending and starting to begin. We talked 'cause talking tells you things like what you really are thinking about. But sometimes you can't find what you're feeling till all the words run out. So I asked her to come to the concert. She said, no, I work at night. I said, we gotten too damn good at leaving Sue. She said, Harry, you're right. Don't ask me if I made love to her or which one of us started to cry. Don't ask me why she wouldn't take the money that I left. If I answered it all, I'd lie. So I thought about her as I sang that night, and of how the circle keeps rolling around, how I act as I'm facing the footlights, and how she's flying with both feet on the ground. I guess it's a sequel to our story from the journey between heaven and hell, with half the time thinking of what might have been, and half thinking just as well. I guess only time will tell.
What'd you think, Nicky?
What an interesting, diverse, emotional response I get out of this song. The music leads you to the emotion he wants you to feel. I really enjoyed that. Another one that kept popping in my head is kind of like a Joni Mitchell telling stories.
Yeah.
You know, obviously the music is nothing like Joni's, but her ability to pull things together and to create a kind of vision of where she's going. You understand really.
They lay out the details of an experience, but then they have these little departures from the narrative to kind of explain their emotional location in the storyline. And I think Harry Chapin was a master of doing that. I read that in interviews, Harry Chapin said that 60% of Taxi and Sequel are actually based in fact. The rest of it's sort of a construct, like the reality is he was going to be a taxi driver, supposed to be in New York, and he relocated it to San Francisco in terms of the plot, and some other little facts about how things went. But it's a mixture of both. But I think it was an interesting way to link a 10-year difference in an experience and then create another counterpoint to it in a sequel to the original, which is really compelling. I think they're both good,
based
too.
in reality. The fact that he had gained success and she now liked herself. That was another really, I thought, important line in this.
Yes, before he was the one who was like going nowhere and hated himself, and she was the one with the ambitions and the dreams, and they both, like, their paths crisscrossed and then they reversed almost. But they both found a place where they belong, and they understood that, and that the distance of their relationship didn't tear them apart from their bond, from that first experience and from everything else. I think it was just beautifully, affixed to the way the narrative crosses the boundary of the years.
He composes his songs very well. At times he has his signature. That signature, I can't tell you exactly what it is. It's the way the music kind of stops and then makes you think for a half second. And then all of a sudden he throws you like a little bit of a curveball with these wonderful interludes that become almost romantic feeling. He doesn't have a romantic voice, but the feeling he gives you is there's romanticism based at his core.
Yeah, there's kind of world weariness and wisdom in what he says as he tells. Very self-effacing, very self-opening up. And that's what's compelling about it, because you get to feel he's invested in these experiences as he sings them, and it's just really, really something really special. And God, it's what a tragic loss to have died at 38 at the peak of his power creatively and everything. Really sad.
Well, him and Croce and a few others that died at their peak.
It's very sad.
Amazing.
What did you guys think of Sequel? I'm sure if you haven't heard Taxi, which I'd be surprised if you didn't, you should go back and listen to it again and then listen to Sequel right after it. But wonderful stuff from the great late Harry Chapin. Hope you enjoyed our tribute to Harry. And if you enjoyed it, please, and you have not.
Where's he from?
New York, I believe. I think he was born in New York.
He does sound like somebody who born and raised in San Francisco.
I'm not really sure. I didn't really look at the bio, but he spent a lot of his adult life there in New York City. So,
makes sense.
Somewhere around there. But anyway, if you enjoyed what you heard and you have not, please subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Tell them about Nick and Knarf, because we're caring for your ears. Subscribers, we want to thank you all so much for all your support. And like I said, we hope you enjoyed our tribute to the great Harry Chapin, and we hope to see you next time on another episode of Nick and Knarf.
And once again, Happy New Year 2026. You guys come back and see us.
Ciao, Bambini. Peace out to all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.